Hello, and welcome to Pittsburgh City Council's public hearing for Wednesday, October 23rd, 2019. My name is Kim Clark Baskin, and I'm the Deputy City Clerk. With us today, we have our sign language interpreter, John Blasco. The following is a piece of legislation up for discussion by Pittsburgh City Council. Bill number 1951. Ordinance amending the Pittsburgh Code, Title IX, Zoning, Article 1, Section 902.03, Zoning Map, by changing from P Parks to EMI, Educational Medical Institution, 6,500 square feet, one parcel near the intersection of Frew Street and Hammerschlag Drive, all in the Allegheny County block and lot system. And Bill number 1952, resolution approving an updated institutional master plan under the Pittsburgh Code, Title IX, Zoning, Article 2, Chapter 905, Section 905.03.d, and Article 7, Chapter 922, Section 922.12.g, for Carnegie Mellon University Institutional Master Plan, dated July 30th, 2019, on property zoned EMI, Educational Medical Institution District, 14th Ward, 8th Council District. That concludes the reading of the legislation. Thank you and have a great day.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this public hearing of Pittsburgh City Council for today, which is Wednesday, October 23rd, 2019. Madam Clerk, can we begin the public hearing? Oh, I should say I'm Councilman Kraus. I'll be chairing this afternoon's public hearing, and we are joined by Councilwoman Erica Strasburger. Other members may join us as their schedules permit. And Madam Clerk, may I begin with the purpose of Bills 1951 and 1952?
Bill 1951, ordinance amending the Pittsburgh Code Title IX Zoning Article 1 by changing from P Parks to EMI Educational Medical Institutional, one parcel near the intersection of Few Street and Hammerschlag Drive, block number 53B, lot number 100 in the Allegheny County block and lot system. Bill number 1952, resolution approving an updated institutional master plan under the Pittsburgh Code Title IX Zoning Article 2, Chapter 905, Section 905.03d, in Article 7, Chapter 922, Section 922.112G for Carnegie Mellon University Institutional Master Plan, dated July 30th, 2019, on property zone EMI, Educational Medical Institution, District 14, Ward, Council District 8.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. So we have a number of invited guests today, but our first guest is going to be Ann Kramer. She is a senior planner in the Department of Zoning and Development and Review in our Department of City Planning. So Ann, welcome, and you have the floor.
Thank you, and good afternoon. With your permission, I'm going to talk about both cases here, and
Perfect.
then our applicant is also with us today to give a presentation after that.
Great, thanks.
The institutional master plan amendment, this is concerning the current IMP, institutional master plan, that was adopted in 2012 and then amended in 2015. This amendment only changes development project number 3, Scaife Hall, and you will see that in the presentation. So it's a very limited amendment to this. The remainder of the IMP is unchanged. Planning Commission reviewed and recommended approval on July 30th of this year. The other project that's on here is also related to that, and that's a zone change petition for 6,500 square feet, and that's just a portion of the parcel 53 B100. That's the main parcel that is the CMU campus. This area is located, the 6,500 square feet, is located near the intersection of Frew and Hammerschlag, and it's near the current Scaife Hall, and you will also see this in the presentation. Currently, this portion is of the parcel is zoned parks zoning, while the remainder of the parcel is zoned educational, medical, institutional, the EMI, and so the proposal is to change this little sliver to the EMI zoning to be consistent with the remainder of the parcel. Planning Commission reviewed this and recommended approval on July 30th. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Corey, were you going to offer anything at this time? You're sure? Okay. Thank you. So, Bob, I'm going to turn it over to you then. I think you have a brief presentation you wish to share.
I have a very brief presentation.
Okay, I think I'm going to get on your way.
As Ann had noted, this is an amendment. We have two actions that are before you. The first is a very small amendment to our institutional master plan, and the second is a very even smaller zone change. Regarding the institutional master plan text amendment, the proposal is to take out all of existing project number 3, which was for a small connection building between Scaife Hall and Roberts Hall, and replacing it with an entirely new piece, which is for a new Scaife Hall. The university is in the process of doing programming to figure out what it would take to be able to demolish the existing Scaife Hall and to build a larger building at its site. If I may jump to the next, this is actually an image from the current master plan showing, again, the text, the replacement text that is being proposed, as well as where the new project number 3 is, the Scaife Hall, as shown in the lower left corner on the screen in front of you. We're proposing that the site would allow for a new building, potentially with underground parking. It would allow for academic, research, lab use, maybe some limited restaurant and potentially structured parking, up to 120,000 gross square feet. The height is set, it's kind of stepped. There's a component that is a 5-story component that's more near the park, with a 4-story mass that's north of that to match the existing Scott Hall, which is identified as project number 1 on the map. And then a series of setbacks that help kind of retain the building within the existing site. The zoning map amendment, that's the first part, that's the very minor amendment that we're proposing. The second part is the zone change, which is this little itty bitty triangle, as you can see in that lower left corner for that. The EMI district on the slide here is outlined all in blue. That is the existing EMI district that makes up Carnegie Mellon, as well as the Carnegie Museums, as well as the University of Pittsburgh. When we zoom into the next level, you can see where that triangle is. And on this image, the blue is what is zoned EMI, the green is what is zoned parks. That little itty bitty yellow triangle that's on the map that's shown there is actually part of the greater parcel that is zoned EMI. For whatever reason, back when the zoning line was drawn back in 1958, to create the Parks District for Shenley Park, it just extended it straight through Frew and did not follow that little dog leg that happens that's through there to follow the parcel line. So the zoning line didn't match the parcel line. In this case, we're proposing to rezone that very small piece. As Ann noted, it's about 6,500 square feet. It's vacant property right now. We want to be able to utilize that for both construction staging as well as potentially building a slightly amount into that as part of, as long as it's within the parameters of the master plan amendment that we're proposing. We do have an image of it kind of shown here. This is the kind of extent of the area that is being shown. You're right at the corner, right at the bend at Frew Street where it bends towards Phipps. And you can see it's not a very large area, but it is significant, the component, in the fact that, first of all, we would like the zoning line to match the parcel lines whenever possible. And second is that this is an area that, because of where we're thinking of access for future, for fire truck access and things like this, we may want to be able to utilize that property for that development. It's important to note that we are not bringing forward the actual Scaife Hall redevelopment at this point, assuming that if and when that this amendment and zone change are approved, we would be bringing those through their normal review process that would involve the planning both CDAP and the Planning Commission at some time in the future. And that is it.
Thanks, Bob. So I don't. My intention is not to oversimplify, but so the change in zoning is really technical in nature. For whatever reason, we just didn't follow the parcel. We followed a clean line. That makes it simple. I'm going to turn the floor over to you, Councilwoman, since this is in your council district.
Thank you. I've been fully briefed by Carnegie Mellon this entire process, and I have no questions at this time.
And I'll recognize Councilwoman Harris if you have anything you'd like to add before I go to public comment.
Actually, no, I just want to get a copy of what you brought today since I was late coming in, being on the phone with one of our friends, so.
Okay, good. Thanks, Councilwoman. So with that, I am going to go to the public comment portion of the public hearing. Each speaker, of course, is given 3 minutes to address council. If you are not a registered speaker, after we have exhausted our list of registered speakers, we will open up for testimony for those in the audience who may wish to speak but did not register. You'll receive 1 minute. At this time, I have one registered speaker. It's Yvonne Francine Brown. And for your 3 minutes, Ms. Brown, if you'd like to come to the microphone.
Good morning. Good afternoon. My name is Yvonne F. Brown. I saw you outside. I was looking at your shoes. Was that done on purpose? It wasn't? I would love to let the children see. But anyway, I want to start off first, even though they say that we must address what's on the agenda. But that's all we can address. No, I'm addressing at 6:30 tonight, Red Alert Citizen, there's another meeting. And this meeting is about the tax. They're going to tax us citizens to keep our parks up. But
We
yet,
need to turn the mic off.
Big Daddy, who works up in the parking lot where the arena is, he said, Miss Brown, he said the mayor's getting ready to spend, like, he said $30 million on this park that they building. But then they're gonna take and ask the citizens to keep up our parks. $30 million for a park up over that freeway, like, you understand? He's saying, and see, I speak to the people in the community, it ain't just me speaking. He said, Ms. Brown, and Mr. Krause, please, see how he talks, but I must face the front, but he's talking all while I'm talking. You see, you never learn if you don't listen. And like I said, and Burgess today was saying about public comment is a privilege, and he's talking about possibly cutting it out. You know, before they had said that about me, that I came down to be on TV, especially Shields was saying that. Mosnick, I come to be on TV. So they went in the back when Sala was talked about like a dog by Harvey Adams, the NAACP. Because even with Harvey, when I went out there, Harvey said, I got him, didn't I? I said, no, you didn't have to do that. You can see him in the street. See, I come down here because you don't see me in the street. You don't know what the people are telling me. And they're telling me that they want to be able to speak on what they want to speak about. They want to bring it to the table. He's saying that we must go by whatever's on the agenda. Okay, let me show you the reason why I'm upset. There's 2 signs fell on the sidewalk against the fence. If someone was blind, they would get hurt. I came down and I told my councilman, but if you listen to what they say, I'm not allowed to bring anything to the table. I must speak what's on the agenda. Citizens don't believe them. Anything that you have to say that's concerning this city for the safety of our citizens and for our equity, for us to be equal, poor people to be equal to all of you, we must be able to come. Please don't ever, citizens, let them take our right to be able to speak before you. How else are you going to know? Do you understand? You don't know my community. I do. I'm 73 years old. I'm not stupid. I went to school, I studied, and I'm curious. Do you understand? I'm not trying to tear you down, but teach us. Let us know what you're doing. Please. Now, I've been saying for all these years,
Hey,
they
thank you,
never.
Mr. Brown.
Yeah, he likes
Thank you,
to do
Ms.
that
Brown.
as soon as the
Sir,
buzzer
were
rings.
you-
But anybody else,
You weren't wishing. Thank you, Ms. Brown.
Please listen.
Thank
All
you,
right,
Miss.
please listen.
Thank you, Ms. Brown. Sir, you don't wish to speak at this public hearing? Okay, so that exhausts the list of registered speakers, so I will close the public comment portion of the public hearing. If there's nothing further, then may I have a motion to adjourn the public hearing?